back to BLOCKTV. It's time now for Chain Breakers. The crypto data space is at a critical juncture, with government regulators citing lack of transparency and clear data as critical to their inability to properly regulate the space. Numerous private actors accusing the space of being run by rampant manipulation. So, in order to keep on top of the markets and find out what the latest trends are, we turn to the experts over at Coingecko. And I speak now with co-founder Bobby Ong. Bobby, thanks so much for being with us.
Pleasure.
All right, so Bobby, firstly, I want to start off with the news of the day. Obviously, we've seen a big spike in crypto markets led by Bitcoin. It spiked in the last 24 hours at around 8,500. Now, at time of filming, hovering around the 8,300 mark. This seems to have come in the wake of increased tensions between the US and Iran, the military front, although whether we can say causation, hard to say, but correlation perhaps. Bobby, firstly, what are you seeing in this trend? What are some notable elements, and who do you think is driving this market surge?
Yeah, started 2020 at a very strong price for Bitcoin. Started the year about $7,200 US, and in just 8 days, we've seen price going up to $8,300, $8,500 US. I would say that the main reason is due to increased tensions between the US and Iran, due to the increasing threat of a war between these two countries. I think it's mostly driven by institutions. A lot of retail traders are going in as well, thinking the same ways. I would say that this is a lot of uncertainty, and we are seeing same thing happening in gold price, and this is happening as a flight to safety towards Bitcoin as well.
Mm-hmm. And that's an interesting point there, Bobby, because obviously in the past, many have said that Bitcoin is a safe haven asset, and in times of crisis, much like gold, investors can and should flock to Bitcoin. We do seem to be seeing that play out, at least in the short term now. But that narrative has been sort of questioned, debunked, brought back a few different occasions. We're seeing a tight correlation at the moment. Do you expect that to continue?
I would say I think Bitcoin has always been a safety asset. Whenever in times of crisis, people will flock to buy Bitcoin. So during the next economic crisis, during times of war, people would want to put their money into some safe haven assets like Bitcoin. So I would say that we should expect to see similar things happening in years to come.
All right, certainly we'll see if that narrative does indeed play out. There may be plenty of opportunity ahead for Bitcoin to prove itself as a safe haven if global tensions continue to spike. But in the meantime, Bobby, talking about other things happening out there in the world, 2020 is underway. We're over a week into the new year, and it's never too early to start talking about what trends we're seeing, what important developments we're seeing come out of the year. So, Bobby, you've isolated a few things you see as pivotal to the start of this new decade, this new year. What do you think are the key trends you're seeing play out so far?
Yeah, it's just been slightly over a week in 2020 in this new decade, and we've seen two interesting developments so far. The first being that on the 2nd of January, Ethereum had its hard fork. This is the Muir Glacier hard fork. This is the second hard fork following the Istanbul hard fork that happened just 1 month ago on the 7th of December. This hard fork was done because there was a need to delay the difficulty bomb for another for 4 million blocks. This because the Ethereum developers made some slight errors in predicting the timing of Ethereum's difficulty bomb, and without this Muir Glacier hard fork, then we would expect that the block times on Ethereum blockchain to increase, and it's projected to hit 20 or 30 seconds per block. This is no good, and with this hard fork, it was done successfully on the 2nd January. The block time on Ethereum blockchain has decreased 25%, and it was hovering around 17 seconds at the start of the year, and after this hard fork, it's gone down to slightly below 13 seconds. And this lower block time has resulted in many more blocks being mined daily, with higher block rewards and higher inflation. This upgrade, the Ethereum developers expect with the Ice Age and difficulty bomb not to occur again until Ethereum successfully transitions towards ETH 2.0. So I think the big trend this year for Ethereum will be the transition towards ETH 2.0, and this will be a key trend that we should watch out for Ethereum.
certainly a
There's
trend.
a second.
Oh, please continue, Bobby.
Yeah, there's a second event that happened as well this year at the start, which was the Beam block halving on the 4th of January. So Beam is a privacy-based coin based on the Mimblewimble protocol, and it was launched in January 2019. And earlier this week, that we saw the block reward halving, half from 100 coins per block to 50 coins per block. There was a slight increase in price, about a 20% increase in price from 51 cents to about 62 cents. But ever since then, the price has been correcting and it's now trading about 55 cents or so. This will be another key theme to watch out for in 2020 as the couple other coins that will be halving, the most notable one being Bitcoin's halving expected sometime in end of May, where Bitcoin's block reward will be halved from 12.5 to 6.25. So the other notable one will be Zcash towards the end of the year in November. A lot of people are speculating whether there's any more correlation between the block halving and the price increase. From Beam's price chart, you'll see that there's a 20% increase, but it corrected very rapidly. But some people are quoting examples from Litecoin, and where the price actually increased 8 months beforehand, peaked 1.5 months before the halving, and sold off before the actual event. This is a classic buy the rumor, sell the fact trading strategy. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out for Bitcoin, Zcash, and the other coins that will be halving this year and the coming years to come.
Right, surely, Bobby, I mean, yeah, looking at these halving events, talk about a predictable event. This is cryptographically programmed into these blockchains since their inception. Traders, users, miners, everyone has known about these since the creation of the blockchain, of the Bitcoin blockchain, all the way back 11 years ago. So surely these events are already priced in. For those saying that there will be a rush, is that not... any trader or miner worth his salt will understand that this is going to happen, will have priced this in beforehand. Are we not just going to see a repeat of Litecoin when Bitcoin, the halving, comes up in May?
Yeah, rationally, that every trader and every participant in the market will know that this should be priced in, but I guess people want price action, and then people want to believe that the price will go up, and sometimes when everybody believes that this will be the case. So it's hard to say as well. And also, I think it'd be very interesting in for Bitcoin's halving this May, because it's coinciding with the New York Blockchain Week happening in May. So the consensus conference is happening in mid-May, and usually there's a price bump leading up to the conference. So I think it'd be a very interesting May this time around, especially in New York. So expecting a price increase then, and we'll see how it goes. Whether the price can sustain throughout the end of the year or not is something for us to see after that.
All right, certainly one to watch out for. The power of human fear, greed, hope, whatever it may be, that collective thought can be more powerful even than cryptographic certainties. Bobby Ong from Coingecko, I want to thank you so much for helping to break down some of these important trends of the year, the latest news that are happening here in the Bitcoin space. Seems like we could be up for a volatile market ahead, no matter what is driving it. But in the meantime, stay with us at blocktv.com for all the latest in news and information. I'm Asher Westrop Evans. Thanks for watching.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.